These are school principals from Lagos State Public Secondary Schools. They are here to update their knowledge and prepare them for higher positions in their career.
The aim and objective of organizing this capacity building is to encourage our directors, our principals, to be a 21st century directors and principals, to acquire skills that will enable them to stand beside anybody all over the world called director or principal.
Commissioner for Education, Mrs. Folashade Adefisayo, urged the participants not to narrow themselves to their area of competence.
Is there anybody here who did not go to university? Many PhDs, masters, everything, and among us, we could not pass a simple test. And it's because we are too narrow. You have narrowed yourself to that, your narrow area of competence, which is all right to some extent, but you see, the higher you go up the corporate ladder, the less a specialist you will be and the more a generalist. As a principal, you are the equivalent of the CEO of your school.
The principals were taught the principles of procurement, the statutes of government, history of Lagos State, themes developmental agenda, and the budget.
Just like I told them, they must always lay a solid foundation to be able to do procurement properly. So procurement is a process, and everything that they do, they must always think about due process. They must think about teamwork. They must think about managing people, managing resistance. They must develop ability to listen to other people's opinions.
I have been telling people, when you want to do examination of that magnitude, it's not a 1 week reading. You must continue to read, research, especially budget of Lagos State. It's something you should familiarize yourself with. Procurement matters. Some of our principals are not even exposed to that at all. These are some of the things they are being taught here today.
They also want them to know what they are supposed to know, like budgeting, procurement laws, public service rules, and know that the rules have changed. The rules have changed in the sense that you just cannot be an accounting officer without knowing what the program of the state is, without knowing what is expected of you for you to rule or to run your ministry.
Permanent Secretary, Local Government Service Commission, Mr. Biodu Bangboye, facilitated at the training, said the program will prepare participants to be eligible for appointment in the civil service.
The need for them to understand the statutes of government, the rules, regulations, the laws of the state, and even the constitution. And again, for them to understand the history of the state, understand the development agenda of the state, also understand some other issues about leadership. To eventually emerge as accounting officers, they must understand the budget of the state, how the budget is operated. They must be able to do so many things to really show that they are fit for purpose.
The talk or seminar is to stimulate them to know that, one, they have the capacity. They have the capacity to achieve, and we want them to be able to go back home and challenge themselves to achieve more so that they can aspire for greater things.
I've learned a lot from the program we're having today, because the last exam we went for, I took part in the TGPS exam. Then I have not gotten this experience, but if I should go again from what I learned today, I believe I'm going to do very well, because they've taught us so many things that we need to know about procurement, how to carry ourselves, and how to answer different questions given to us when we are facing the panel there.
The key information I'm taking away from this program today is, number one, I have to be very current with the latest developments in Lagos State, in the areas of procurement, in the areas of civil service rule, in the areas of sustainable development goals, of course in the areas of the general administration, and then the policies of Lagos State government.
The principals are expected to be versatile, dynamic, and knowledgeable in different areas and push for the top.